Multitasking. This is probably the word I hear most, and I see it as the most ineffective way of managing your work. And you know, I am a victim of that because many times you think that by doing multitask, you are doing many things at the same time and you are very productive. But is this true? Let's see this with more detail in our video today. The best way to explain why multitasking is not a good idea is through an example. And I created a very simple example. Imagine that you have task A that takes 5 days, task B that takes 3 days, and task C that takes 7 days. A does not have any relationship with B, and there is no relationship with C and A with C. The only requirement is that it's you. You need to dedicate time to A, to B, and to C. The only thing is you as a resource. You need to deliver this, this, and this. So let me tell you how normal life works. You start, and then you start saying, okay, I will dedicate today to do task A. And then you just do that. A. Beautiful. Next day, let me continue on A. And then you do the second day. However, at the end of the second day, the owner of task B calls you and say, what about my task? Did you finish it? What happens? You immediately halt everything and say, oh my God, I need to start doing B. So you need to stop doing A and start doing B. It's like juggling the balls. However, for you to shift from A to B, there is a setup time. It means you don't shift from one task to another at 100% speed. There is no way, because one task is in one place, one task is in one software, one task is with one style. You need to move, you need to change places. And then I will consider, just for the simplification, that this yellow post-it, it's like a buffer. It's like something that requires you time just to shift from one task to another. So you get ready. So you spend this, and then finally you start doing B. But then you start doing B. And that email you didn't want to receive comes saying, what about my task C? And you say, oh my God, I cannot. I need to start C because they need to see that I'm doing everything. And then, of course, if you're moving from B to C, you also need your setup because you need to stand up, you need to change, you need maybe to change clothes, you need to do something to change. And then you do that. Bingo. And then you start C. You start C. And then you do 1 day of C. You're happy, the phone is not ringing, and you do the second day of C. And then you do the third day of C. And then you are doing very, very nicely. But what did you deliver so far? Let's put this as a day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. 8 days. Did you deliver A? No. Did you deliver B? No. Did you deliver C? No. But you already spent 8 days. Then, people that ask you A said, there is already 8 days. You didn't deliver me A. Please, I'm begging you to deliver. What do? You stop C and you say, oh my God, I will come here, stop here, and then let me go back to the A and finish A. So this is the day you finally manage to finish A. you deliver A. Whew. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 to deliver. And then you say, now I can finish B. But then I need to put this one more time and do the 2 remaining days of B. Then I finish B. Then I take one more day and I go to the 4 days of C. Let me put it, and I did this intentionally because you know what happens with the end? There is no wall for that because you will see it will take a lot, truly a lot of time, you know, and this is floating here. Poof. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. A. 13, 14, 15. B. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. C. Wow. Right? So everything. You did everything. But at the end, you deliver everything late. Now, let's suppose that you control yourself, manage your anxiety, and say, let me go up to the end. What happens? You take A. The phone rings, and it's B. And you say, look, I will take B as soon as I'm done with A. Please, you need to wait. You means it can be even yourself. And then you do one more, and one more. 5 days. Then you can breathe and say, one thing less. Then you may take B. But of course, as I did here, the rule is the same. You need to shift. Prepare yourself to take B. And then you take B. You take B. And you take B. Then you deliver B. Then you take the break. And then you move on to all the 7 days of C. Look what happened. What happened? You just delivered everything faster. You just delivered. There is no one that lost anything with your approach. A received the task, the owner of A, earlier. B received B earlier. And C received it earlier. Everybody, look, let's count. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Hours or days, the way you want. Then here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Right? 20. So did you see? 5 instead of 12, 9 instead of 15, 17 instead of 20. So what happened? Multitasking is very damaging. Why? Because every time, don't forget this, every time you shift tasks, this yellow paper comes into place. Every time. There is no such a way. Your brain cannot just shift from one task to another at full speed. There is a time. So you speed up and then you stop. Did you see when you are answering an email and the phone rings? What happens? When you finish your call, you go back. It takes you some time. This is why it's so important to have focus. And this is why, for example, I use the concept of Pomodoro to help me to avoid multitasking, because anxiety brings you this behavior. And what is important here, and what we need truly to know? The first reason why this is bad, because this is not a reflex of productivity, it's a reflex of anxiety. You are shifting because you want to please everybody, and at the end, you are damaging everybody. At the end, you are doing so many things and not delivering anything on time. The second one is that the shift makes you lose time on every time you juggle from one task to another. The other one is focus. Look, our brain is not multitask. What we do, it's we shift the focus, and when we do this all the time, what happens? We lose our concentration. So if we have time and opportunity to dedicate time and say, look, in the next 2 hours, I will answer emails, and you just do that, you will see that you will be able to have a lot of work done. A lot of work. And this is exactly in the project. If you are working on something in a project and you say, I don't stop anything, I just do that for this time, you will see that your productivity will increase a lot. And another bad thing is that there is a false perception of progress. Because what happens? Here, you can say, I'm doing A, yes, it's almost done. And B, oh, it's almost done. And C, so at this day, you are pleasing fictitiously everybody, because what happens? You are just saying, I'm doing A, B, and C, but you are not delivering. You are almost. Anything between 0 and 100 is almost. So you are delivering a false perception of progress. And then you will ask me now, how do I avoid this? How do I avoid the trap of trying to do this and please everybody all the time? The first thing, plan in advance. Think before you do. Just think. For example, this is what I do. I have so many things happening in my life all the time. But I try to sit and say, now I will dedicate the next half an hour to answer my LinkedIn messages. And I go there and I only do that. I don't care if I receive email, nothing. This is my whole focus on that next 30 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. And then when I'm done, I just close and say, I don't care about LinkedIn anymore. Now I will go to another thing. Because what happens? You start answering an email and you just stop in the middle. And then you start doing something. And do you know what happened with me many times? Next day, I say, I didn't have an answer to that email. And then I remember that I forgot to press the send button. The email was on my draft. Because, I was so anxious to start doing something that I didn't finish that task. And this delayed everything by 1 day. So plan. The second thing, it's focus on one thing at a time. We all believe that we are superheroes that can do many things at a time. No, you need to focus on one thing. Get it done. Get it read out of your table, and then you take the next one. The third one is create Timebox. Create Timebox. And this is what I said when I said that I use the Pomodoro. And it's a Timebox of 25 times 5. Means 25 minutes of concentration, 5 minutes that I just stand up and I do whatever I want. On these 25, I have a very specific goal for that 25. 25 minutes, I will answer only these 2 very important emails, and then I just go there. And I forget everything to avoid starting answering an email, spend 2 minutes, and then go into doing something. I turn off my phone, my instant messaging, anything. And I only focus on that. And then on the 5 minutes, then I do anything else. Then I distract, then I talk to family, then I do everything. And then I come back and do it again. This is the concept of time box. And the time box, I'm saying 25, but you can create the time box you want. But you need to understand that during that time, you don't accept distractions. And the fourth one is exactly about distractions. You need to fight against distraction. And because today we have, and even more when people working from home, we think that people are just 24/7 available for everything anytime. And we get so distracted. The computer sends you a notification. Your phone beeps every time. You need to manage and remove that. Honestly, I don't have any notifications on my phone. I have no notifications on my computer. None. I know that on every time box, it's the time now to check my instant messaging. It's the time now to check internet. Because otherwise, trust me, I receive messages. I receive hundreds of messages every day. If I do that, I will be unable to do anything else. And this is the concept of managing your distractions. You really need sometimes to say, look, no. These next 4 hours, I cannot do anything but this. To get really, to move from here to here, this can be 5 hours, and get it done. Because the pleasure of getting things done is unbeatable. And last but not least, it seems unrelated, but keep your workspace clean. Keep your computer organized, because otherwise you will lose a lot of time on this setup. So when you need, because the setup will happen anyway, when you shift from one thing to another, there is a setup. And if your workspace is a mess, this setup that could take 15 minutes may take 3 hours, may take 4 hours, because you will, where's my pen? Where is my computer? Where did I put my phone? Where is this? Where is that? And it takes time. So keep your life organized. One day I will do a tour in my office so people can see, because I'm almost paranoid with organization. I have everything in place because I have no chance of wasting my time trying to figure out where did I put that file or where that email is. If you want to work mainly as a project manager or as a Scrum Master delivering things, you need to be neat, organized, and keep focus on one thing at a time. This is my final suggestion. And in order to help you, because my handwriting is not perfect, so I did this. And this is exactly this exercise with the tips I presented to you. So you can download this on the link below. It's absolutely free. It's for you to learn and practice. And in order to convince you that this option down here, it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea at all. And finally, I want to invite you to join us. Subscribe to the channel. I publish videos on project management, risk management, crisis management, business agility, and join us so together we can have a nice journey on how to connect ideas into reality and how to deliver successful projects.